What's up, Lorehounds? Inside Runic Games booth for Torchlight II. I'm here with Max Schaefer, the CEO. So Torchlight II is actually coming up pretty soon, right?
Yes. We don't have a firm date yet. You know, we're really bad at predicting dates to begin with, so whatever I tell you would be wrong. But we're just in the polished pass of the game now. All the content's done. We're just honing everything to a shine, and it's going to be really, really soon.
So Torchlight II is an action RPG, and probably the biggest feature you guys added was the ability to do co-op.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that was like probably the #1 request for the original.
Yeah, every review said, hey, this game's great, but it really needs multiplayer. And we kind of knew that was going to happen. And then we did an Xbox version, and everyone said, this game's great, but it really needs multiplayer. So, multiplayer.
Lo and behold.
Yes. We're going to do LAN play as well as internet multiplayer, and of course, single player offline.
And how long is the campaign compared to the first?
It's much, much longer. There's so much more in this game than there was in Torchlight 1. It's crazy. The game's broken up into 3 different acts, each with a hub city and lots of outdoor terrain around it. Just the first act, 2/3 of the way through it, you've already gotten through more content than there was in Torchlight 1. So it's huge.
So is the game very co-op focused? Is everything playable in a co-op experience, or is there some stuff locked to single player?
It's pretty much the same game for as single player, but we adjust the difficulty of the monsters in multiplayer. And the way we do the loot is when you kill a monster in multiplayer, you see only your own loot. So the other people see their loot from the same monster, and you don't have to rush ahead and try to get it.
Of course, there will be the conspiracy theory that something makes it so someone gets better loot.
Of course. Yeah, it's usually the other player that's getting the better loot.
Grass is always greener.
Of course.
So in the multiplayer experience, the drop-in, drop-out for XP and everything, it raises the difficulty of the monsters?
Yeah, it raises the difficulty of the monsters, and you share experience points, provided you're in the same area.
So they can be out finishing their own quests away from you and stuff like that to progress their kind of own part of the game, and then do you get credit for that if they do something? How does that work?
Yeah, only if you have the quest and you're in the same proximity with them. So it's set up that you can have a super high level guy and a rank newbie in the same game. They're just in different places in the game. And that's kind of cool because you can chat and even trade items and that sort of stuff, but you're in different parts of the game and you're not affecting each other's experience or monster difficulty level.
What do we have as far as system requirements? Is this going to be on a wide net that it can play on? You're not going to have to really worry about that, or is it the higher end?
No, it's definitely works on your old laptops and all that. We wanted to keep that from Torchlight 1, so it's a very low-tech game actually. And I think in an action RPG, it's really important to have your frame rate good. You know, it's almost more important than the bells and whistles of bump maps and the latest, the latest technologies. So we designed our art style to work in this fashion. If you could play Torchlight 1, most likely it'll work exactly the same with Torchlight 2. So
does it scale up at all? Does it get graphically powerful at any point? Kind of DirextX 11 support?
No, there are some sliders in the option settings that you can set for like detail of the shadows and the particle density and that sort of stuff. But like I said, it's all really low-tech stuff, so you don't have to worry about the latest and greatest graphics card. However, if you do have the latest and greatest graphics card, it is just that much smoother, and it really makes the experience when there's no hitches at all, even though there's 6 people on screen.
So in the multiplayer world, what are we looking at for group size?
Well, right now it's set at 6, but we're going to end up with somewhere between 6 and 8. It's really the most fun when you have 2 to 4 people in a specific group, but you don't all have to be in the same spot in the game. So like you can have 2 different groups. So we're probably going to let you get a little higher than the 4. I should point out that we're releasing our development tools with the game, so you'll actually be able to set your own maximum. No guarantee it won't break the game, but
we don't support it at that point.
Right. You're on your own on that one. But the tools are really powerful, and you can change almost any parameter of the game in them.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done great with mod support, so we're just continuing on and full on everything you can play with.
In fact, we've expanded the mod support this time so that the UI mods are super easy to do, and a lot of things are easier to do than they were the first time around. This is the actual tool that we use to make the game, and there's nothing disabled in it. So I mean, this is how we put the game together. So theoretically, someone could make like an entirely different game, provided it's the same basic camera angle and stuff. From before, so it's really, really powerful.
So Torchlight 3, we should just expect the source code?
Yeah, just a blank slate. Yeah, make your own game, exactly.
Here's C++.
Well, and, mods are much more fun when you can share them with people, and in a multiplayer game, it's just that much more satisfying to make a mod and have other people be able to play it and play it with them.
So speaking of sharing and back to the quest stuff, you mentioned you won't be able to do a quest unless you have it, and you won't get credit if somebody else does it. Can you share quests easily? And if it's not part of the story-driven part?
Yeah, basically you get a quest by going to the quest giver, right? And you can accompany the other players regardless of whether you have the quest or not, but you just won't get credit for completing it. So
they can't like, hey, I got this quest. Do you quest share in that respect?
Well, you can just go out and talk to the same quest giver he did and get it. So it's pretty easy. Generally, if you're just playing with someone, you'll both have the same quests and both be completing them as you go.
So the price point is the same as the original, $20?
$20, yeah, it's the magic price.
And when are we coming out?
Very soon. We're like I said, yeah, TM. I know. We've said this forever, but we really are. The content is finished, and we're just polishing now. We've got a certain competitor that's coming out pretty soon, and so we got to kind of steer around that a little bit. Just
go head to head.
Yeah. And this will be the last interview I do at last PAX East. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great career. Yeah.
Thanks so much. Can't wait to check it out.
Right on. Thanks a lot. Thanks.